Hello students. In this lecture I'm going to talk about the ecclesiastical characters, the depiction of ecclesiastical characters in the prologue. Ecclesiastical means the characters who are associated with the religious order of the time. Chaucer very deftly, cleverly and wisely and realistically talks about the ecclesiastical characters in the prologue. Most of them are corrupt. Most of them break the rules prescribed for them by the great saints of Christianity. Chaucer has given a true and realistic picture of the ecclesiastical characters of his age. He satirizes on the one hand the corrupt and worldly minded clergies, and on the other hand he appreciates the good characters and presents a moral picture of them. The power exerted by the religion is incomparable in its intensity. Its power shapes and affects the life of the people. Every religion aims at reformation and betterment of human soul. It affects the whole structure of the society. It promotes a healthy philosophy and moral code of conduct in the society. Hence, the importance of religion is distinguished and renowned everywhere in every country. Though in Chaucer's age, religion had a great control over the minds and soul of the people, yet, regrettably, its influence was corrupt. I'm talking about Christianity in particular. The monasteries were promoting corruption. They were promoting exploitation of the innocent folk and were earning money under the disguise of religion. So there is a need of reformation in every religion, in every country. Moralities and ethics were fading. The ecclesiastics had become notorious for their avarice, for their greed, for their corruption, for their dishonesty. They had forgotten their sacred duties and had become degenerated. In the prologue, Chaucer has drawn some portraits of the clergies of the 14th century England. Free from any, his portrayal is free from any personal prejudice. These characters are not exaggerated sketches, and they are realistically depicted. They realistically refer to the corruption, refer to the religious and moral degradation that had crept into the ecclesiastical order of the day, that was eating into the soul of the religion, of Christianity in general. Chaucer's ironic portraits reveal that Chaucer had some idea of a code of conduct for clergies to follow. But he is impartial and realistic and paints both the sides of the picture. The black side, the corruption, the dishonesty, and the white side, their hard work, their duties. Through the portrait of the pleasure-loving monk, the wanton friar, the corrupt partner, he exposes the humor. He exposes with the humor the typical church dignitaries. He also gives the portrait of good parson. Chaucer admires the parson because the parson, like him, were becoming rare in the age. He was one of the rare honest persons in religious order. A brief description of the ecclesiastical characters of the prologue throws much light on Chaucer's attitude towards religion. Was he critical towards religion? What is sympathetic? Was he sympathetic towards religion? Let's discuss this thing in detail. Okay. So, as I have told you, there are certain religious dignitaries belonging to the church in the prologue, and Chaucer sometimes makes fun at some of them. Let's talk about each ecclesiastical character in this lecture. First of all, the prioress. The prioress is the first ecclesiastical figure in the prologue. She smiles amiably and sings in a nasal tone. Chaucer says, ironically, that she is aware of the manners of the society and knows how to carry a morsel to her mouth. That means she is a fashionable person. Chaucer says she wears fashionable dress with a golden brooch engraved with the words Amor vincit omnia. Amor means love. Vincit means conquers. Omnia, omni, everything. So love wins everything. So the people from religious orders were not supposed to talk about love and lust, all these things. She truly signifies high-class, religious-minded ladies of the 14th century. She is not an ideal nun and typifies the traits of the contemporary prioresses. Although the prioress is a woman of religion, being a superior nun holding the charge of a priory, she is depicted here as possessing a number of secular and worldly traits. She has a romantic name. Do you remember her name? Have you gone through the text? Her name is Eglantine, Madame Eglantine. Eglantine, having lived probably a life of refinement in her early years, she still indulges in certain vanities which are prevalent in fashionable societies. The prioress at this time was not expected to swear at all, but our Madame Eglantine swears by St. Louis. St. Louis was a 17th century courtier turned saint, a saint who, in the later part of his life, became a courtier. She is depicted as having exaggeratedly good table manners. As Chaucer says, she always takes pain to imitate the manners of court life. She speaks fluent French, but her French is pedantic. She has learnt this language from books, and she is not good at communicating in French language. Eglantine is not always careful about obeying the rules of her position. Nuns were forbidden to go on pilgrimage by the 14th century bishops. Yet this nun, Eglantine, frequently did so. She frequently went on pilgrimages, and Eglantine is among Chaucer's pilgrims also. Nuns were also forbidden to keep pets of any kind, but this nun, she breaks this rule also. She is full of charity and pity, but she lavishes these qualities on her dogs. This seems more or less misdirected charity. Her charity, her love, her affection is misdirected. Instead of loving the poor people, human beings, she loves dogs, she loves other pets. Now let's